It is the RIOT. You know, it didn't make it into today's show, but there have been some fascinating developments. In the meantime, Eric recently bought a tactical ammo box that he's now using to carry soda in.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know which is worse, if he came in carrying a bunch of ammo or if it's the fact that it's full of soda. But he bought 2 of them from a store I've never heard of, and I don't know. It's fine. You know, we support each other. That's fine.
It is. It's great.
But he was coming in. He was saying,
when he said where he went, it was a little weird. Like, how did you end up down there?
He said he got a coupon and didn't know that store had a location in this area. And the coupon, so that box, that tactical box, was $6.
So we got 2.
I feel like that's too much. And he did buy more than one.
I don't think $6 was too much for that.
You don't think so?
No, it was nice.
I was thinking, like, if for a sale, sometimes the weird guy stuff is sometimes, like, free. You ever have that?
The weird guy stuff.
Yeah.
You mean like ammo boxes?
Yeah.
That's not a guy thing, Nikki. Girls need a box to put their ammo in,
I don't need an ammo box.
Yeah, but I see you've got your purse. No judgment there, huh?
It doesn't have any ammo in it.
Eric needed a container to carry things around in, and you've got one all the time.
I should watch what we say. I do have a gun, but I don't carry it with. But I don't carry it with me. Mm-hmm. I don't have one on me.
She leaves it in their purse.
No, I don't.
We actually thought at first maybe Eric had brought his gun.
Well, I wasn't sure what he brought in. I was
like, she's not really supposed to do.
Why do you have a tactical box in there?
But you know what? It turned out it was just soda, which I thought was fantastic. Because I will tell you, if you said to me, like, bring your gun or some soda, and I'd be like, probably soda.
It actually is great because then no one will disturb your soda box because they think there's ammo in there.
There's a gun in there. Don't touch it.
So they think to not bother it, but really it's just a safe place to hide stuff.
Yeah. Well, hey, today in the podcast, we talk about towels. You know, which side of a towel do you use? Chicken McNuggets and donuts. Nikki going mainstream. GameStop. Lots of talk about tattoos finds its way in here.
We loved seeing people texted in, which you can do that anytime you listen to the podcast. If there's another DJ on shift, like they might be like, why is this weird email or text message coming in? But you can text us totally anytime or send us when you hear this story, your tattoos, if there's any you hate or you love, to 877-2-RADIO-U and just put it's for the riot and we'll get it.
We also talk about Arby's and sewage, not related, and some binge watching stuff to put on your resume.
Perfect show.
There may even be more than that. So you guys enjoy the podcast.
Remember, tomorrow is our last broadcast for the week.
Yes.
And then Friday and Monday, there will be nothing.
Nothing.
You get nothing. And you will be happy with that.
Yeah, because I'm going to New York and eating, which is also in this podcast. So you guys have a fantastic day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
When life is this good, you don't need a vacation. So get back to work. It's The Riot on Radio U.
I got to ask you, Nikki.
Yes.
About your... Well, I mean, you take baths or showers, right?
Not baths too often.
But you
mostly,
shower?
Yes, I shower every day.
So personal hygiene is a thing.
It's very important, yes.
Now, when you get out of the shower, do you just stand there and drip dry or do you use a towel?
I use a towel in the shower before I get out.
Okay. So standing shower, toweling with the door closed. Is that a reach over or crack the door and reach out and pull in and shut the door real fast?
For what? The towel?
The towel.
The towel's hanging over it.
Oh, so you're a hanger.
So it's half in, half out.
Okay. See, I've got mine on the little thing on the other side of the door.
Yeah.
Grab it, like open, grab, pull in. But I also do a most dry. I'm like an 80% dry in the shower, and then a 20% outside.
That's
the sweating
normal,
starts.
I feel.
It's no big deal. But here's my question: towels come with like a soft side and a hard side.
Yeah. Well, if you use them, if you got to rotate.
Could you explain what those are for?
What do you mean? Like it's if you need a soft dry off, like for the 20% that's left. But if you need a hard dry off, then that's like hey, I'm 80% wet.
Well, how do you use it? So you're saying like
mine,
you use the rough side as a rough initial dry,
honestly,
and then you're soft toweling your face.
No, for my towels, I think they're both soft on each side.
Oh, I don't think so.
So I don't have a hard side.
I don't even think they don't make towels like that.
They do.
They don't. That doesn't
fluffy
exist.
And they're soft and they're fine.
I don't think so. There's a more abrasive side. It's in the towel code.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it exfoliating?
Is it?
To kind of just, take off the dead skin.
Well, that's the part I don't understand, because I saw a friend of mine named Jor-El. He was talking something about towel sides yesterday. And then when I got in the shower today and I was looking at my towel, I was just like, wait a minute. Maybe there was like a piece of information, like when your parents were teaching you how to go to the bathroom and how to shower, all the hygienic stuff that is part of human society that your parents teach you, nobody else, and then you never talk about it again.
And we just missed it?
We never talk about it. We just do what we do, and then we hope nobody notices what we're doing, and that's it. But, is there a soft side and a hard side? And there was an integral moment in my childhood where I was supposed to be taught, son, the hard side is for the elbows, but the soft side is for the back of the ears.
No, I think if you have a hard side to your towel every day when you towel off, you're like, oh, that side hurts, I'm going to use the other one. So just by way of using it more often, it's making it softer on that side, and the other side is staying unused.
Okay. All right.
So it's not the comfortable side.
Well, if anybody's got towel theories, or better yet, facts, 877-2-RADIO-U. You can text or call.
I don't know if we're going to get much input on that one.
But we do it every day.
Sure.
Which is why I feel like this discussion should at least be, someone should be brave enough to discuss it. And the Riot is here for the things that don't matter.
We are happy to help.
The Worst of the Riot box set is now available nowhere, because we know you wouldn't want it anyway. It's the Worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Guys, a lot of you feel like Nikki's a trailblazer, but I got to tell you what, she's so mainstream. She's such a sucker for the mainstream.
Can't help myself.
I mean, last night, what am I doing? I'm surfing the internet, and they're like, would you try the 16-8 diet? I was like, wait a minute, 16-8. I know those numbers.
That's mine.
That's Nikki.
You eat 8 hours of the day, and then you fast during the 16 hours.
That's right.
But people do different numbers and different amounts.
They said, forget about the 5-2 diet. Is that the 5 on, 2 off?
5 days on, 2 days you eat, I think it's 500 calories or less, and then the other 2 days you eat normal.
Good Lord, have mercy. I don't think so.
I'm not doing that one.
So they say that people lose 3% of their weight when they limit their eating to within 8 hours. 3%'s pretty good. Mm-hmm. I'm sure for some people it'll be more. That's like when people are like, you see this bodybuilder that looks amazing, and they're like, I got to cut, man.
It's like, what is there to cut left?
I got to cut.
What is there?
He's like, I lost 3% of my body weight, so now I'm down to 2% fat. And you're like, you know what? Why are we even having this conversation right now? Like, why are we even talking about it? But they say that it's a great way for some people to lose weight. They say in general you end up eating about 300 calories less per day.
Yeah.
See, I'll bet it's more than that. I guess depending on what you're eating.
You'd be surprised.
How much you can squeeze in 8 hours?
You can still eat everything that you want to eat within the 8 hours. It's really you're losing about probably a large snack is what you're taking out of.
Because I saw you yesterday, you didn't eat bread on your burger.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
So that's just like a little extra you're throwing in.
Yeah, that one still. But I supplemented it by having a second hamburger patty.
Which is fine.
So it's still there, but you're just, you don't have a breakfast or you just break your fast a little bit later. But some people even only do one meal a day.
Well, yeah, and I noticed that Eric's pressuring you into the one meal a day.
He's not even doing that. But you would eat, 23 hours you would fast, and then 1 hour a day is when you get in all your calories. Mm-hmm. I thought, oh my gosh, I don't know about that one.
No way.
But I don't know.
I mean, if that's what you're doing, great for you, good, whatever. Like, it's awesome.
It's just not going to happen.
Last night I had dinner and I ate like half my sandwich at 5:30 and then I finished it at 8. And I was like, bro, you wouldn't be allowed to do that.
Well, you could. A lot of people don't start their fasting at 8 p.m. and then go on from there.
You have to be no eating till noon.
But we get up early. We're different.
Look, Nikki, I'm not as strong as you, okay? But for everybody else, I want you to know Nikki's paving a way for you. You can do it. And it's mainstream now, so don't be afraid.
Everybody can do 16-8.
We read an article in a tabloid, so it's mainstream.
If there's an article about it, we're on top of it. We're doing it.
It's fine. We're in.
Having a bad day? Blame the Riot. Everyone else does. And in fairness, it's probably their fault. Radio U.
So if you guys weren't keeping up yesterday, I got a very important phone call in which I was asked to join Space Force.
Space Force.
That's right.
Oh, and it's got a soundtrack to it.
Well, Nikki, Space Force has to be ready for everything.
At any moment, day, any time.
And even if that includes just me out there doing public relations. Space Force has to be ready.
I feel like, honestly, your social media posting on Twitter, you announced that you were leaving RadioU to join Space Force.
Yes.
went better on Twitter.
Way better.
Then on Facebook, people took it like you actually were leaving Radio U to join, and they didn't know what Space Force was.
Twitter, everybody laughed and immediately understood Space Force.
They got it. They
Everybody
got the joke.
Facebook, I posted, what was that, at like 6 or 7 o'clock last night, and I walk away for like 20 minutes, and I come back to Facebook, and I have like 500 notifications, and I'm just like...
Oh, boy.
What?
Oh, what happened?
And all these people are like, oh, my gosh, you're leaving. And I get it because I dressed the Facebook one up a little bit because I feel like with Facebook, you have to bury the joke more.
Yeah.
So because with Twitter, I know you have 200 and something characters, but I still say don't use all those characters. Keep it short. So on Facebook, I said it's with a heavy heart and some excitement.
That's the part that kills
I know.
it right
That's
there.
what got you. I know. That I must announce that I'm leaving Radio U 2 weeks from today. President Trump has asked me to take over as the head of Space Force.
See, there's the joke.
I mean, you should read that line and immediately know that obviously I'm not leaving. I'm not joining Space Force.
He hasn't been
President
asked
Trump
to.
has not asked me to do anything. And I say thanks for all the years of support. But I feel like everyone read the first sentence and didn't read anything else.
That they stopped reading then.
They stopped right there. And I get it. But that was supposed to be the fun of the joke, is you were like, oh my gosh, this is so stupid.
It has showed me that when the time comes, years down the road, years and years, when the riot can no longer be, we must take care of that delicately.
We'll have to handle it a little nicer.
We will. We might have to give like a 2-year warning, not just a 2-week one.
Yeah.
Because it seems like you guys would be sad.
Hey, but even the 2-week notice was a joke as part of yesterday's show.
With the space thing.
We were saying, hey, you know what? We're going to give a 2-week notice. And then for my last day, which would have been Tuesday, July 3rd, we were going to do a barbecue and a back-to-back Independence Day showing.
You know, maybe people miss those details.
Well, you know, I don't expect people to listen to the whole show, but, you know, you should listen to the worst of the riot so you're completely caught up on everything.
And you should understand that the space thing was a joke.
Yeah.
Again, it was very obvious on Twitter, but for some reason, they stopped at the first sentence on Facebook.
I embellished it just a little bit, and I knew I was in trouble when my phone started to ring last night, and I was just like, what? I started getting these private messages that are like, hey, and I'm like, guys.
Where are you going?
Guys, like, read the whole thing. Surely you don't think that President Trump has called me to head up Space Force, right?
Hey, they do.
They do.
They absolutely do think that you received that call and you've left.
That just goes to show you've listened enough to know I'd be perfect for it, right? I'd be perfect for it.
Actually says it seems like it'd be a nice job for you.
So it's time for everyone to sign my petition for Obadiah as Fleet Commander of Space Force.
He's not actually given his 2 weeks notice, but if he gets the call, we don't know when Obi could leave.
I mean, you know what, Nikki? When my country calls, I got to be ready.
You go.
But I mean, I'm only ready for Space Force.
And we're here to support you when your Space Force job comes.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not ready for like other parts. I'm ready for Space Force part. So,
because what, you'll be Fleet Commander?
Well, we're still workshopping that, but I feel like it's a good title.
You don't have to apologize unless you've done something wrong.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't even think straight right now.
This is the worst of the riot. We're very, very sorry.
I have the best idea in the history of ideas, maybe. You guys know about my love affair with Chicken McNuggets from McDonald's. And yes, I'm not saying nuggets, I'm saying McNuggets. Because I love Chicken McNuggets, okay?
But if you were to go...
I'll branch out.
Any other place, are you a fan of nuggets, the style?
I can
or you're more
be.
of a chicken finger guy?
I can be. A lot of times I'll go for chicken fingers. Like,
or
look,
wings.
Man, Burger King, you can sell... There's a reason Burger King can sell you 20 nuggets for $1 or something. Like
or they're chicken fries.
They're terrible. Like, Burger King nuggets are terrible. Like, Wendy's, I don't know if I've ever done a chicken...
I used to like their spicy ones.
You know what? Like, their Chicken McNuggets are okay. I'll do the 4 for $4.
Yeah, but there's nothing quite like a Chicken McNugget.
It's some filler, but I'll take it. Sure, why not? But man, somebody in Australia has come together and they've taken the power of the nug and the power of what's my other passion? Donuts.
Put them together. What do you get?
Donugs.
It's a new thing.
Wow. So in Australia, on Shark Tank in Australia, because just to be clear, if you feel like television's unoriginal here, it's the same everywhere.
It's just their own version of
it. Different set of hosts, same stuff. He got $100,000 Australian to put into, he won the Shark Tank thing or whatever, and he got the money to open this business. And so let me read this to you. A donug starts the same with a panko-crusted ring of ground chicken flavored with a secret blend of spices.
Ooh.
From there, you get different toppings, including a cheesy Dijon bechamel. What is that? With black salt and chili flakes. But basically, look, it's a McNugget, but it's covered in a donut.
It's a McNugget shaped like a donut. And then on the pictures, like when you go to a donut shop sometimes and they dip in.
They'll dip it.
Yeah, so it looks like half of it's been dipped and it's sprinkled with flavors.
Oh, it looks so good.
It does.
Nikki, I need to try it.
I know, but I don't think we could recreate this.
You know what
here.
I hear right now?
You're hearing a lot of things, right?
I hear a lot of talk that winners don't engage in. Winners
this
and
is
go-getters.
loser talk.
They say things like can and will and how, but I'm hearing can't, unable, won't. These are not. This is not the talk of winners.
You know what? This also seems a bit like a festival food, and that season is coming soon for state fairs and
That's
festivals,
true.
and someone in some little movable deep frying place. They'll do this.
I'll take that.
So just be on the lookout. A donug is a new thing, but it's in Australia and it's just starting there. It's no way a place there or a thing that you can get everywhere.
Donug. Come on, Nikki.
A savory chicken donut.
Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Chief, she's...
Coffee and contemplation.
And the Riot. Obviously. Radio U.
So I'm going to be in New York City for a couple of days this weekend.
Worst of Riot, by the way, on Friday and Monday. I'll be here if anybody needs anything.
2 days in New York City. I think it's about the same as a week at Walt Disney World.
Price-wise,
financially, yes.
I don't know. Like Disney, everything's expensive. Like hotels, getting into the theme parks, like everything.
Yeah.
But in New York...
You're saying?
Well, yeah, but New York is especially the hotel that's the most expensive.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
I refuse to discuss it.
Because it's that maddening.
Even sharing the expense, I refuse to discuss it.
It is expensive.
So I was looking for, again, I'm staying in Midtown there for 2 days, and I was looking for... some places I haven't given a whole lot of thought to, like places to eat. And so I didn't want to get there and just walk around because you're going to miss. It was like, if you've gone one block over,
yeah, you
could
need
have found something really awesome.
You need to plan some stuff.
Yeah. So here's what I was looking at. A couple that I found. One called Ellen's Stardust Diner, in which it's kind of a 50s style diner, but they do a lot of like performances and like stuff. It looks kind of interesting. Probably $20-$25 a person to eat there, which is what it costs at McDonald's.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, it is more expensive there. It looks fun.
I think it does too. I am going to go to the McDonald's on Times Square.
That's a fun one.
Anytime I go to New York, I always do that because almost without fail, you can sit and like kind of people watch into Times Square, and I think that's a lot of fun.
Without having to be outside since it'll be hot.
Right. So I'm definitely going to do that, probably for breakfast. And then I found another place that I'm interested in called the Melt Shop. Now, you guys know... I have a real interest in melted cheese. I like melted cheese. And so
it's a grilled cheese place?
It's basically a grilled cheese place. Not super fancy, but it looks like some good local cuisine. They've got a couple of locations
it looks good.
around New York City. And I'll tell you what, I don't normally do milkshakes, but at least in this photo, that milkshake is to die for.
They have milkshakes there?
They do. That is a really good-looking milkshake. Then there's also the Rock Center Cafe, which is they have a special Santa brunch. My guess is that's seasonal.
The website has probably not been updated or changed, or they just leave that on there.
They
assume that that will be at Christmas time.
That is probably seasonal. Carmine's, isn't that where we ate? That Italian restaurant?
Oh, yeah. Don't go there.
That's not a good choice.
It's fine. I mean, there was nothing else, and it was fine.
It wasn't
the worst.
Choice.
But they sat us upstairs, and it smelled like, you ever go to a place where the cleaning stuff smells so bad, and it felt like they had just mopped the floor and it was terrible. And we were hungry, and that doesn't make things better.
It was not good. So I got a couple more for you.
Wait, I want to go back to the Melt Shop.
Yes.
They have tater tot stuff.
Yeah, they do.
So that you're doing.
See, that's what I thought.
You totally need to do that.
It felt like it's a little less expensive, but it's also really good. And when I was in Washington, D.C. last summer, or was it 2 summers ago, I went to a local like sandwich melt place and had a spectacular sandwich. I mean, like, it was so good that Man, if I could get half that good, I'm back in.
That's all you want.
I'm back in.
Their milkshakes have a Nutella one and chocolate strawberry Oreos.
Oh, well, those sound too delicious. I'm out. All right, do us all a favor, all right? I want you, if you've been to New York City, and I realize we live, flyover country, we don't know. But, hey, if you've been and you've got a suggestion, hey, get it to me. Text it 877-2RADIO-U. You can go, slow. And email it, riot@radiou.com.
Either one is fine. In case you need to go home or go to work and get everything formulated for them. You still need to go to milk. I think you need to try that.
I don't know what that is.
I sent you a link. It is soft serve ice cream and cookies and stuff. So if you need a little
I already love that.
dessert at the end,
yes.
I would try milk.
All right, a midday dessert.
They'll pick me up, something fun.
Come on. Actually, that sounds great.
So I would look that up.
All right, I will look that up. Milk in New York City. And they're like, yeah.
Not just milk, because then other stuff will pop up.
Right.
But milk in New York City.
Do they have a milk tax that I don't know about?
They do.
They got a soda tax. What about a milk tax? I can't drink soda while I'm there. I can't afford those high prices.
The part that keeps me up at night, we paid them for this. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Nothing says I'm having a good time like going to the mall. I mean, who doesn't love going to the mall? It's the best.
I don't know. Every so often we go to the mall food court for lunch. And it's not bad when we're there. It's just... I haven't been someone, we don't shop a lot of stores. We buy a lot of stuff online.
Yeah.
And it just seems like going through the mall seems like a lot of work.
I'm just at this place right now that with the exception of Think Geek or something like that, I already know what I want.
Yeah.
I don't need to go browsing. And, I'm not buying clothes. What's the point in putting new clothes on this body? It's not dressing it up.
Same body, same clothes.
It is what it is. So who cares, right?
You don't want to go shopping to look for something that might enhance?
Yeah, enhance. Yeah, that's about
low price?
That's about as fake as when they do it on TV. Enhance. There's no enhancing going on.
You don't want a makeover? You got to go to the mall for that.
I'm good. Well, you know what, Nikki? Have you heard about American Dream Miami?
The new Miami Mall?
The new mall.
Is it the biggest in the United States then? Is it bigger than Mall of America?
I believe that it will be the biggest mall in the United States when it's done. I believe so. There's going to be an indoor ski slope. They will have 2,000 hotel rooms. There will be a water park inside the 6.2 million square foot mall.
The American Dream Miami would also be the most expensive mall ever built. Mm-hmm. So
they say about $4 billion to build it. Let's see. Oh, I didn't mention the skating rink, an ice climbing wall. I mean, I've certainly seen a climbing wall, but I've never seen an ice climbing wall. Also, it'll have an indoor lake where you can ride in a submarine.
Hey, so like the Disney ride.
Yeah, I guess. So their whole thing is they're saying that, they are modeling themselves almost like after Disney, but think no admission. So you would get into the mall for free. Now, of course, everything that I've just mentioned is something that you would have to pay to do. But they're like, you do a little shopping, you grab lunch, you take a ride on the submarine.
Why not?
You come back, maybe you do some ice climbing, you stay in your hotel, you come out the next day, you do a little skiing. It's all inside, which, I mean, they've had malls like this or complexes like this in, what's the Burj, Dubai? Dubai, right? So it's not like these have never been done, but this scale is, even bigger than Mall of America happening in the U.S. It's crazy.
Now, the nation's current largest mall is not the Mall of America.
It's not?
Which is Minneapolis. It's the King of Prussia Mall in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. That's currently the largest mall.
Really?
So this will be 6 million square feet, $4 billion retail and entertainment complex. And they say it'll hopefully do better because you're right. It's a destination mall where there's lots of malls in different cities now that are basically closing down. Mm-hmm. But this is where they feel it'll be more profitable as a destination place because a lot of places that potentially would not make it in another mall could make it here.
It might work.
They're, buffered in between all the activities to do.
Right. So they're hoping while you're there, you'll do all this stuff and buy things.
Yeah.
Buy. Which, I mean, arguably, looking at this mall and the things they're talking about, it does to me lay bare the fact that in reality, Disney's just a big mall.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
when you really start
thinking about it, there are shops everywhere. There's food everywhere. There's a hotel. And yeah, there's a couple of things to do.
So
well,
the locals
just stole that illusion.
The local officials are worried about, there's a lot of other malls in Miami. They say that this is something that they didn't necessarily need. And some locals are also concerned with the potential water and energy use that the city's stormwater system cannot handle such a big addition to it. So there's concern with that, too.
They say it'll create 25,000 jobs, but people are actually concerned, like, yeah, but are you creating jobs or stealing jobs? Because, if this thing over here shuts down, maybe
then
it can't
takes
maintain.
It from there.
Yeah, so.
And I love watching the abandoned mall series stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
Love it.
So what you're saying is this is a future abandoned mall.
You're worried because no one in those malls ever started off in the beginning going, well, in 5 years, no one's going to be able to make it here. And now you have this huge abandoned complex.
I can tell
that
you
happens.
I can tell you honestly, I have zero interest in visiting this place.
You wouldn't want to?
I mean, if I was in the
you're
area,
in Miami,
I might. But man, just the sea of humanity, the difficulty of parking. I mean, but then again, I went to Disney Springs.
I'd be trying to pick the most or the least go-to time so that it'd be as little people as possible.
Yeah. Again, back to the Disney example where it's like, yeah, you can come here when it's not as busy, but it's always busy.
It's going to be busy.
One of the only things left that isn't owned by Disney. The Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, where's a place that I love to go but never spend any money?
Well, you love to go but never spend any money. I feel like
this is a fun game.
I know. It's like where do we want to start off with? Is it Best Buy, GameStop?
Oh man, on your second try,
GameStop.
Man, Nikki, you're like a Jeopardy winner. You should start reading people's emails.
I just know you.
So that's exactly right. Like, I love to go into GameStop. I almost never buy anything inside GameStop. I just go and look around like, hey, it's nice. Bye, guys.
See you later.
Thanks for maintaining this public service.
This is where I can go and look at this stuff and then go buy it somewhere else online.
GameStop is apparently not doing all that well. They did have to close 150 stores last year, and it was a leak. They were going to announce it, but GameStop is currently in talks to be bought. So they're looking to...
I thought those talks were already in talk. Like, it was someone weird that was going to buy them.
Well, there was... Okay, if you rewind 3 years ago, GameStop bought ThinkGeek. I don't know if that might be... No?
I thought someone was going to buy them, and then they were just going to fold and move into, like, their other stores.
Yeah, well...
Which is something that would be smart for them to do.
The sad part about it is, for me, is that basically Best Buy stole my business from GameStop.
With their Gamers Club?
They did this Gamers Club Unlocked thing where I did have to pay to join it, but they even had a sale on that. And so for the last 3 years, I've basically done all my buying and trading at Best Buy because the Gamers Club thing was such a great deal.
Now, if you're like, Obi, that sounds great, I'm going to go look into Gamer Club details too.
They canceled it. So basically, if you have Gamers Club Unlocked, it's good until the end of your subscription, and then it's gone. So mine lasts, I believe, until mid-October this year.
Yeah, but would you go back to GameStop then, now that you're not doing the Best Buy stuff, or whenever that ends?
GameStop actually started a kind of like a competitive program a little while ago that's very similar to Gamers Club Unlocked, and I probably would have. Now you've got it was almost like too little too late. They should have been on top of that first, because Best Buy really did take my business, because I buy games, I trade games, some I keep, some I don't. But they say the big thing that's really hitting GameStop is not Best Buy and it's not retail competition. It's downloads.
Yeah, because you don't need a physical copy anymore. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are perfectly fine with that. It means you don't get to, there's no resale item.
You can't trade it. You can't.
But again, like with movies, a lot of people are okay with it.
I find myself with games, the only reason I want a physical copy is because I can trade it later.
Doesn't it hurt you when you've spent like $60 and don't you take it personally when you go in? They're like, yeah, here's $3 for it.
Well, but
it's like I'd rather keep the game if it was a digital copy.
Nikki, if you really want to be in the game of games,
well, I know you
got the meta game.
Yeah,
what you have to do is you got to be smart about how you're doing this. So, like for me, Gamers Club Unlock, I get 20% off. So, a game's $48. And if I'm doing it right, I'm also getting a $10 pre-order bonus. So I've got $10 in my account already. So I'm at $37.99. I'm paying for that. Then if, again, depending on what I'm buying, if I get it and I trade it back in and or sell it on Craigslist or something within the first 2 or 3 weeks, I can get between $30 and $40 out of it. So that means I'm losing a couple of dollars every time I buy a game, which suddenly makes it not that expensive to do. If you buy and you keep every game that you buy, all of a sudden you're dropping $40 to $60 every time you buy a game. Instead, I'm losing $5 to $10 every time I buy a game like that. So that's what kept me in the game, Nikki.
But now the game's changing.
The game is changing. Now, GameStop's not closing. They're not going away. But they are looking at a buyout, which means that, you know what happens when new people buy it? They end up, like, hey, first thing we got to do is make this profitable, so we're canceling everything.
Everything fun and good is gone.
I mean, I don't know that, but
I think all that stuff was already canceled a long time ago.
Oh, you mean all the fun?
Oh, yeah, every store.
Yeah,
what
that's
fun.
True.
The Riot talks about wanting a day off, but when do we get a day off from them?
Whoa! You suck at this!
It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Okay, Lyndon Bushwick is, I don't know where this guy works, but he is apparently some kind of a hiring manager. He works, I don't know, but here's what he did. He got a resume that he is sharing on Twitter. Now, look, it could be made up.
Yeah.
We
You never
don't
know. It very well could be.
It could just be a joke, and he's having some good times, but it's getting passed around, and I really liked it because, again, as I was putting together my resume for Space Force, you have to begin looking at, like, okay, what am I actually good at versus what you tell everybody you're good at? Because let's be honest, everybody lies on their resume to the point where I don't even know why we exchange them anymore.
It's just not necessary.
Like, hey, here's my resume. And it's like, yeah, we know that you can't do anything that you say on this resume. So why don't you tell us what you can really do?
The more you put on there, the more suspicious we are.
Mm-hmm. So here's what he put down for work experience. You ready? Honestly, not much because I just graduated. Please see below. April 17th, 2011 to present. Game of Thrones expert.
Oh, this guy.
Binge watched series in one weekend. Stared at screen so long went blind in one eye. Only left couch to use bathroom and get snacks. Now, that is a dedicated person.
That's honesty.
Like, that's somebody working hard. And he also has on his work experience Stranger Things expert. July 16th, 2016 through present. Watched each season in 2 days. Created RIP Barb fan page on Facebook that has 25,000 followers. Efficiently used X's Netflix login without being caught.
See, I actually think this is very creative.
So that...
It would get you in more than just if you would have left it blank because he did not have job experience.
I'd be interested in sitting down with him and like, okay, how can we take some of your Game of Thrones watching and apply this to some real world skills?
What can we do with that?
Like, for example, you said you only left the couch to use the bathroom and get snacks. That means that we can count on you to sit here in this call center for 9 hours a day with, 2 breaks? Maybe we'll make it 3. And look here. You stared at the screen so long you went blind in one eye.
Computer work there.
That means that you're going to do great sitting in this chair staring at a screen, right?
It depends. Did it say what job, or even if this was true, like what job was he trying to go for?
I don't know. If you want to know the truth, like I didn't see it.
Successfully created that, Twitter page with quite a lot of followers. That's something.
Mm-hmm. So this guy tweeted that, and a lot of people have been reaching out to him saying, like, hey, I might be interested in hiring them.
I'll take the guy.
Send him out. So
again, he was honest with it, even though he was funny with it.
Yeah.
It's the people that come in and spell out everything from when you were a baby and you happen to volunteer one day. It's like, it doesn't make you have all that experience. And then you are just lying.
I appreciate it. So, you know what? If you feel like you want to put your binge watching credits on a resume, I do think, and again, this is just me speculating.
Yeah.
I appreciate the honesty, but I think you want to be selective in what you put on there. Because in truth, if you told everybody all the shows that you had binge watched, then it's going to have the opposite effect.
No, I feel like those are 2 good choices.
Right.
Good choices
they're
to put on there.
Enough, whatever. But, look at our very own Sydney. She binge watched 17 seasons of NCIS.
I wouldn't have put that. That seems weird.
I know.
It's now for her, she loves the show, so it's fine. But 7 seasons of that show I don't know if that's a help.
I don't know either. Well, I mean, then again, what if she's applying at a crime lab?
Well, now that is.
Could be perfect,
Because then
right?
they assume you're going to know something after watching all those episodes.
Could be perfect.
Don't want to talk to the Riot? We completely understand. Text instead. 877-2-RADIO-U.
Sometimes tattoos are unfortunate. I mean, yes, there's a lot of us out there that you've got ink and you're excited about it and you want to show it off and all that stuff. But
you sometimes go through different phases, like maybe you dress differently or you have a different style about you. So if you get a tattoo of something, it might just not match your style later on.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be just a poor choice.
Nikki, let's talk about Michael Vines. He is in South Carolina and he has been arrested. Now, he got arrested because he was driving with a suspended license, driving too fast for conditions, a.k.a. they got him for speeding. And here's where it gets dumb, unlawfully carrying a firearm. Apparently, he had a .38 caliber revolver. And there was even more. He got in a car accident. So he got cited for driving too fast. He was in an accident. The police were there.
A long list.
He did. So the firefighters that were on the scene, the first responders, saw him throw something into the bushes. And they're like, what? So they told the police, like, hey, that guy threw something over there. And
he's like, nah.
What are you talking about? I did not litter. You shut up. So the police go over. He's got a gun. It's like, all right, is this your gun? No. Okay, it is. It's your gun. We know it is. And then, Nikki, like, if you were under like restrictions, like he's been in trouble for all this other stuff, so it makes it even worse. Did you look at the picture of this guy?
Did you send it to me?
I have right now. Take a look at it. I want you to take a look at
He's got a face tattoo.
He's got a face tattoo.
He's got a gun on his face.
He has a forehead tattoo of a gun.
Oh.
That is one of the worst tattoos I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'm going to say a reputable tattoo artist probably would have not done that design.
You don't think so?
That might have been, hey, friend, can you...
First
it's just
off,
not even a very good one.
you need to come back when you're not high. Second, what are you doing?
It's like, hey, the man who has the gun, who also has the gun on his forehead, that guy, and they'd be able to get you no matter what. Someone could obviously ID you.
I just imagine, you're sitting there talking to the police. It's like, what? Do I look guilty?
Yes, you do.
Well, sir, it's illegal for you to possess a firearm and you have one tattooed to your forehead. Poor choice.
I would really regret that one.
Poor choice. Man, the worst tattoo I've ever seen, ever, in person was we had a guy here named AJ.
Oh, AJ! He hated that thing.
It was the worst tattoo I've ever seen. Like, just...
But he got it covered over, I thought, right?
Did he?
Didn't he just black it out?
I think he may have blacked it out.
Yeah.
So now he just has a big black...
Which was an improvement.
A huge improvement.
A huge improvement.
Huge. It took me forever. Looking at the tattoo... It took me forever to even understand what it was. And he told me, he was like, it's an angel cutting off a demoness's head. And I was like, what's a demoness? And he's like, no, demoness, like a female demon. And I was like, oh, all right. Can you show me where they're cutting the head off? Oh, all right.
It's around here.
Yeah, I mean, we looked at it for a long time, and I did finally get it. And once I got it, it was kind of like that train wreck thing where I stared at it for a long time, and now I can recall it at any moment what it looked like.
Yeah, but that was on his arm, and
at least that he could put a shirt on it.
This guy's gun tattoo's on his forehead.
He has a tattoo of a gun on his forehead.
And again, not a very good-looking gun, too. If it was better, it maybe wouldn't be as bad. Well, now you know, next time you go get a piece done, be like, hey, not doing a gun on the forehead.
It's the worst of the riot, because calling it the best of the riot would be a lie. Radio U.
Boy, we asked for tattoos, and you guys are not disappointing.
Dude, Brandon, I love the ones that you got on the back of your calves. Those are very nice.
Like Star Wars tattoos, so it's like the Empire and the Alliance, the Rebellion, whatever you call that. And then Annie, you got a lot of ink, girl, and it looks good. So thanks for sending that. And she's got ink on her chest. She's got like a diamond there. And then we could see some on her arms, too.
Very nice.
Danielle says, my sister-in-law got a big tattoo of her and my brother's wedding date on her ribs.
Wait, you're like, oh, that sounds nice.
See.
Here it comes.
While she was having an affair. Now they're getting a divorce.
And now the tattoo will have to change.
That's too bad. And then here we see worst tattoo ever, a carny with the Eye of Ra tattooed on his bald head.
That's a bold choice there that you went with.
It does feel a little scary.
Yes, it does.
It's watching you. But Nikki, what about this? I have what you might consider to be some of the cutest tattoos
tattoo
that you've ever seen. It's a dad, and his name is Mark Reynolds. He's from Ontario, Canada. He runs a company called Everyday Girl Dad, and it looks like he's got a YouTube channel and stuff, but he lets his little girls design most of his tattoos.
Oh, that's become a trend on YouTube where your kids will draw out the tattoo, and then that's what you get.
Well, he's got two little girls, Leah, who is 8, Charlotte,
she can actually draw,
who is 6. So Leah drew a Wonder Woman picture, and Charlotte drew an R2-D2.
Those are actually quite impressive.
And he had them tattooed on his legs. I actually really, really like the Wonder Woman tattoo. It's like, it looks...
You sure he didn't help?
Yeah, I did. No, I did
just
not.
Is he sure
he didn't help? You know what?
They're
8
cute
years
enough.
old, that seems reasonable, right? Man, I think as a tattoo artist, that'd be the scary part, because it's like, hey, you're not working out of your art. You have to recreate this child's art on this guy's leg.
Sure. Now, if you scroll down to the bottom picture, she had wrote a letter to Electric Ink saying that they wanted to give their father an awesome, amazing tattoo. She did Wonder Woman on that paper, and that Wonder Woman is not the same looking Wonder Woman that he actually got tattooed. So maybe
It's not?
It doesn't look the same to me.
You don't
it's
think
close,
so?
but it doesn't look identical. Meaning, like I feel like it was helped a little bit. The actual finishing one.
I don't know, Nikki. I feel like that's a pretty... Like, are we looking at the same photo
I think
there?
we are.
Like, of his leg and she's holding the Wonder Woman picture?
Well, no, the letter that she wrote at the very bottom of the article to the company to do the tattoos.
Well, I mean, that's where she was getting started.
That's a doodle.
That was a doodle.
Okay.
So then, she went back, and of course
It
she
looks
had to...
good.
That was a proof of concept. Then she had to go back and,
Just
make
making
a
sure,
production line
an official
model.
one. Just making sure.
Because, I mean, obviously that's...
I could draw one for you. We could make a YouTube video. People would love it.
No, I don't want to
I could do a dolphin or a palm tree.
No offense to any of you guys, but I don't want a tattoo. I'm good. Like, I'm too fickle to tattoo anything on my body. Like, that's a terrible idea.
You
Because
could do a temporary one.
Yeah, sure. Great. In fact, let's just get a pen. I'll draw something.
Okay, done.
Yo, I'm all tatted up now. What's up?
That'll be the clickbait, because we'll make it seem like you're getting a tattoo, but you're not. We're actually just drawing on Sharpie.
Perfect. I mean, if I do end up joining Space Force, I may get the Space Force, emblem on my arm. But I mean, I think that's something most of us will probably do.
Anyways.
Yeah. And, it's one of those things, like, maybe I'll put it on my forearm, because I don't know if you guys noticed, but, like, my arms are huge, like, super muscular. So, like, it'll look really good on my, my huge forearm, because I'm so strong.
You got a great space for that.
Yeah, it'll be great. So, you know what? And feel free, guys. Lots of people texting in their tattoos this morning. Here's someone I don't know, but they have a Jesus cross on their arm. So it spells out Jesus. That is a big one on his forearm. Feel free to share and tell us your name when you text in 877-2RadioU, because otherwise we don't know.
Matt, that's Matt.
The Riot's motto, Carpe Cupcake. Those are words to live by. Radio U.
Look, everybody wants to leave their mark. Arby's is getting in on this too. It's not a tattoo, Nikki, but did you see their latest ad?
The advertisement?
They have been certified by the Guinness Book of World Records as having made the world's largest ad.
So back in May, Arby's switched, I don't know if they ever were Pepsi or just now it's exclusive, but they're just having Coke products as their drinks.
Which, by the way,
good choice on that one. We're Coke people, which out of context sounds weird, but we're Coca-Cola, Diet Coke people.
Coca-Cola. So here's what we need to do. Where'd that even come from?
Get ourselves a drink.
We need to get some Coke.
It's time for you to do something.
We need to get to Arby's. No. They apparently last week had the world's tiniest ad. It was etched on a sesame seed and had to be viewed through a microscope. And so now they've done the largest. It was in Monowi, Nebraska, which is also the smallest town in the United States. It has 1 resident.
One lady?
How do you even do that? How can you have a town that only has one person in it?
I think is it to humor her?
Well, like, how do you get it incorporated or recognized, or like how do you
maybe
do
the
that?
town's just a lot of farm and just one person living there.
I
You
don't
know,
know.
times are tough. Towns have gotten hit hard. Maybe everybody else moved away.
Times are weird, Nikki. 212,000 square feet, or that's about 5 acres as far as ad space goes. So
Or in that area, that's a backyard.
yeah, really. It just is a huge sign. This is Arby's now has Coke. There are photos of it from the side.
But now it's certified as the world's largest advertisement.
Oh, yeah, man. They had Guinness on hand right there, and they got a picture of the lady standing in the middle of the ad. I also have a picture of the sign here that says Manawi, 1.
One person living there.
Population 1. That's kind of cool.
Well, then does your town have, like, any administration or anything?
She says she's the mayor, the librarian, and the...
She's
she said
everything?
she was something else. Yeah, but think about that. Like, you could go ahead and, like, be... Like, you pay taxes to yourself. Like, you could set up some weird tax shelter or something where, like...
There must be a loophole.
Like, you're paying all of this local
But
tax. You could
how
count it off on your
large?
federal... you could,
How large is the town? Like, can anybody else
I don't know.
actually move in there?
I don't know. They're not allowed
Sorry,
to.
Arby's. We're more fascinated by this small town than we are about you're the world's largest advertisement.
Well, you know what's weird? I went to Arby's and had roast beef last week. I haven't had Arby's in a year. I have no idea how it happened. I was just driving by and I was like, yeah, I'll get some Arby's. And I stopped in, and do you know that it's good? Did you know that Arby's roast beef is good?
I'm sorry, I'm hearing the ad campaign right there.
I know.
Do you know it's good?
But I was like, I bought a sandwich and I was just like, man, why don't we eat here more? And they're like, oh, it's because it was $8 for this roast beef sandwich.
Well, you're
That's
mean.
why.
What do you expect? It's a roast beef.
You know what I expect? I expect people to be like, hey, Obadiah, it's free because we like you. That's the world I want to live in.
But he also wants that to be
Here,
extended.
take the big Montana.
He wants that to be extended to everyone.
Everything in my whole life.
And not just him, though. Like, if you guys go in, they're like, oh, you look nice. Here's some free food.
No, I don't care about you guys.
Oh,
I
you just want you?
Just me.
All right, well, is there really a sandwich called the Big
Take
Montana?
a look over here. What do you see? The center of the
A
universe.
kind man.
The center of our society.
That's not true. You're not like that.
So if we could just get some more things
You
revolving
would like,
around me.
You would like free food, but
I
you're
would
not like
some
that.
free
You're not
food.
like that.
I think I'm just hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet. I'm hungry.
Oh, yeah.
So, but no, all right. So there you go. Largest ad ever. Arby's is the big winner.
Arby's
And
has Coke.
they've got Coca-Cola now.
Somebody's having a problem with their choices. It's like, I heard you got something, and they roll on in.
Hey,
And then they're wrong. It is the beverage.
put it in the bag. Put it in the bag.
Recycling paper is like planting a tree. Recycling the riot is like burning down the rainforest.
We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So, Nikki, I was looking here. Do you know that as of November, we've got a birthday to celebrate?
What birthday is it?
On November 15th, the PlayStation 4 is turning 5.
I don't feel like it's been that long,
It
but
seems impossible that it's been
I
5
guess
years.
time flies when you're playing games.
When you're having fun.
Maybe.
But the thing that made me look at it and go, wow, I guess it really has been a while, is that Sony has just fired up PlayStation's, no, I guess it's not greatest hits. They call it PlayStation Hits. And I don't believe they've done this since way back in the PlayStation 3 era, but they just announced 15 games for PlayStation Hits, and these are PlayStation 4 games that will all be $20. So now, in fairness, a lot of them have been way cheaper than that through PlayStation sales.
So you have to do your homework before you go buy something.
But not all of them. So, you know what? Let's make it quick. Bloodborne, Drive Club, Infamous Second Son, which I just bought on sale for $8. Killzone Shadowfall, which I just bought on sale for $5. Little Big Planet 3, Ratchet & Clank, The Last of Us Remastered, Uncharted 4, Battlefield 4, Doom, Project Cars, Street Fighter 5, Yakuza Kiwami, Yakuza 0, and Metal Gear Solid 5.
That's the list.
So that is all $20. But I'm just amazed. I have lost track of the fact that the PlayStation 4 is actually kind of old. Like, it's been around for a while. And I guess it makes sense if they're saying that we'll probably see at least a new Xbox, if not also a new PlayStation 2 years from now, that means that it will have been 7 years
since
those consoles launched. That's wild.
That should be just enough time. We should have been saving money each month, putting a little aside,
So
and you could
ready.
have had enough money for the next one.
Wow. So $20, that's actually a pretty good deal.
Actually, it sounds about right if you just set aside $20 each
$20
month.
a month for 5 years, and
Then
you can
you got
have a new
yourself a
PlayStation.
console.
That's fantastic. Let's see. There's quite a few. I've played a lot of these games, but there's a few in here I haven't played. A lot of people told me Bloodborne was cool, but what's born of the blood? I don't know. It's a scary sounding thing. But I've been.
But do your homework, like we mentioned, because Obi's got a couple of those for way cheaper.
For real, they keep putting them on PlayStation Network on the cheap. And I mentioned, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, I bought Infamous Second Son on sale during their E3 sale for $8, and that's what I'm playing on my PlayStation 4 right now. That game is great. I've been having a ton of fun with it. They had some DLC for it called Infamous First Light. That was $7. So I did $15 for a total package.
Total.
But I had a ton of fun with the DLC, and I've been having a blast with the regular, like the Infamous Second Son. And I had been looking for a game for a while, and I've tried a couple things, and nothing's really grabbed me. And that game, I've been having a great time with it. I'm looking forward to playing more.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Now, you said you were going to do an Obadiah Plays with DDR.
I'm not.
I want to send that back to the people.
They're fine.
They don't mind.
They don't mind.
They sent us their gamepad and their
games. They pulled
games.
it out of the attic. They're fine. I already know. I said on Monday I was going to do it, but I can't. I've got a dentist appointment. I've got all this stuff, and then I'm going to New York City. So, it will have to wait.
You need
until
to make
next
time.
week.
Make time.
I got to go to the DMV today, okay?
The DMV and the dentist?
Yes.
What a horrible day.
I know. God. Tell me about it, sister.
Better if you added the doctor to it. Every horrible D thing.
Doctor tomorrow.
Oh, you have everything.
And next Tuesday.
Okay, well.
So, I'm not making it up.
I know you're not, but you said, and I wanted to trust your word.
No, never believe me. Don't trust anything I say.
In fact, if you say you're going to do something, then I should know.
That's a good indication I'm not
you're
doing it.
You're not going to yet.
Real talk next week, though. Which is what I said Monday about this week. But you know what? Listen, sometimes you got to prioritize. Things get bumped.
With virtual reality, the possibilities are endless. It gives us the ability to live out any of our wildest dreams. So maybe we can use it to pretend the riot doesn't exist. The Riot on RadioU.
We're moving through this thing pretty fast. It's June 20th. So July 1st is not this Sunday, but the following Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, man, who cares about July 1st? Well, first off, don't you talk bad about July.
You're getting close.
Don't you talk bad about July.
That is un-American.
I won't stand for it. But that's not what I want to talk about. July 1st kicks something in Seattle. There's a law on the books, and it all goes into effect Sunday,
Probably
July 1st.
something we like to eat or drink, so what is it?
It's more about how you're going to eat or drink it. Let's talk about Seattle's ban on plastic straws and utensils.
People are going after straws really hard.
So they are the first city in the United States to ban plastic utensils and straws.
So from it wouldn't be in your own home, but say you were going to a restaurant.
A restaurant, yeah. To me, I think the thing that's the most interesting about it is that it's not as simple as people make it sound, because there are quite a few business owners, they're frustrated because this one guy is like, hey, just to let you know, not only is this more expensive, so I have to raise prices in the restaurant, but no one in the United States manufactures these straws. So I am being forced to buy from a foreign distributor, and I want to buy American. Now, he could just be saying that because he wants people on his side. Sure. I don't know, but it's still fascinating because, I don't know, I've never in my life thought about, a plastic straw.
Let's see, McDonald's is switching their straws in the UK.
Are they really? Oh, in the UK.
In the UK, I think they're trying out non-plastic straws.
So what are they made of? Paper?
Probably going to be a paper.
So cut down the trees so we can have straws?
Yeah, but people forgot about that a long time ago.
That's not a thing?
Not a thing anymore.
So we'll wait till some more trees are gone and then it'll be a thing?
It's a cycle with it. But I think that's what they're going to do. Or if not, you bring a reusable straw. It's on you to bring your own straw.
BYOS?
Yeah, bring your own straw in your bag.
I don't know, when I shop at Aldi, I bring my own shopping bags.
So
I
it's
have cloth bags.
Similar to that. I have reusable straws.
Or just keep some straws in my glove compartment now.
apparently.
It's not like I've got gloves in there.
Put it in a little baggie. You don't carry a bag around except your like work bag. But I mean,
Put some straws in there.
Leave some.
You know what? I got pens in there in case I need a pen.
I think
so I just need to put some straws in there.
Honestly, it feels like it's just going to lead to where they still are trying you, like bring your own cup and have your own lid.
Okay. Do you know that upstairs in my office I have a box that has 499 straws in it?
Did you order it and forget that it was here? Or?
No, I use it for apple cider vinegar, so
so it doesn't hurt your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you just use one reusable straw? This is all about you. This moment.
This right here is this. Is this the moment where I change?
The 400 plastic straws that you have upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
You could have just bought one metal, like reusable straw.
Why? What about all the metal trees that they would have cut down for that?
Okay, this is why we have to have this law.
You know,
this is it.
You know, actually, this is a good point. I can honestly say it never even occurred to me to buy a metal straw.
Then you just wash it out.
That's actually a great idea, especially at home. I should totally do that. And I'm almost out of straws at home, and I was about to buy a new bag.
Don't reorder that.
Man, Nikki is saving the earth.
Look at that. And then here in our break room, we never have any utensils.
Ever.
When you want to
don't
eat
worry,
lunch.
we're not a problem.
So I know it's not us doing that. And so Eric ordered a set of reusable utensils that are really nice. So I've been meaning to get one for me, too.
Okay, so I can get a bamboo straw.
If not, get a metal one.
A steel drinking straw.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at Amazon. Amazon's choice is a Yeehong set of 8 stainless steel straws. Do you guys sell one?
No,
I'm sure they don't. They never will.
You're going to need a set of them.
Reusable replacement metal straws for 20 or 30 ounce tumbler. Oh, these have colors. Or for $6, I can buy 1,000 straws.
So Rachel in Texas said pasta straws. I haven't looked into it much, but from what I've seen, they look awesome. Shouldn't change the flavor of the drink. Pasta's the straw of the future. You can eat the straw, or is it pasta as in something else?
My guess would be that, well, if it's a pasta straw, it's going to be biodegradable.
Yeah.
So they make it out of bread and then you eat it or you just throw it away and it.
Listen, guys, I'm trying to get away from bread. I can't have a pasta straw. I'll eat my own straw.
So now we have to have a gluten-free, non-whatever. We're never going to make it, guys.
We just can't.
The problem is society has gotten so prosperous and we've all gotten so picky, we can't make it.
Just get the steel ones.
This saves the earth. What about my gluten allergy?
You're listening to the worst of the riot.
Today sucks.
Radio U.
It's hot outside, right? You need a RadioU tank to cool off? Shop.radiou.com.
Or do you work in the RadioU studios where we turn the air down low this morning and you could use one of our crew sweatshirts?
Also, it's a thing. You decide what you want to do. We're here for all of it.
Yep.
Another option for cooling off is you could go to a splash park, Nikki.
That sounds nice.
Doesn't that sound nice? You just go and they've got little fountains and you run around.
I was at a park on Saturday afternoon and they had a splash park in it. Mm-hmm. So it looks cool.
So they got a little problem. They just had to shut one down at the corner of Massachusetts Avenue and Van Ness Street in Washington, D.C. People started noticing, like...
The water smelling? Now, this is not like a water park. This is a splash sort of. You walk through the misters and the fountains and stuff.
Exactly that.
But it's not a pool and there's no slides.
It smells funny in here. Does anybody else think it smells funny? And then pretty soon they were getting phone calls. They were like, hey, we were at Splash Park yesterday and... Then when we came home, everyone was throwing up.
Ooh, what happened?
Well, here's a little problem, Nikki. Hang on, I'm almost better.
Let me hold your hair.
Thank you. There was this problem where, like, sewage water was getting used at the Splash Park. So, like...
And you're drinking it, too, sometimes.
You're drinking it, you're running through it,
shiver.
It's getting all over you, and you might as well just go head down to the city water facility and jump in the toilet.
So is sewage water like,
yes,
like the toilet water?
Yeah. It's just wastewater. So, like, whether it's
not wasteful, but just waste.
Going down your sink or down the toilet, they were
splashing it.
They were splashing it, splishing and a splashing.
Yeah. No wonder everybody was sick.
Having a good time.
Can you sue after that?
Sewer?
I would have sued about the sewer. You're right.
Probably not. There's probably some blah, 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 something, whatever. But, yeah, I mean, it's closed now. Just a heads up. It was closed yesterday. They're trying to get to the bottom of the problem. So what is that?
I don't know if I could recover after that.
Well, I mean, you'll eventually get better physically.
Yeah, but just mentally, something.
For real, though, you would have to. Like, from that point forward, you're like, yeah, I can't go over to that body of water. I can't. And every time
you take a shower,
you're getting water out of the sink, and you're like, I don't know where this water's coming from. I don't know.
We're putting too much trust in the fact that the water comes out and it's all clean enough.
Oh, man, a public park. And there
all
you
the
are
poor little
splashing
kids,
in the poop water.
They didn't even know.
They didn't know. And, like, you don't know either. You come home, and all of a sudden, your kid's like, blah! Like, what's wrong with him? He's got the devil in him.
And then you're going blah, too, because he's going it, and you all smell like it.
I thought it smelled bad at that park, but I didn't say anything.
All right, this is what this is teaching me.
What are you learning right now?
Sometimes I notice something and I don't speak up early enough. If I was at the splash park and it started smelling, I would have been like, I'm leaving. I'm not going through the water misters. Instead, now I just sit there and be like, no, it's okay. It's fine.
Is this a see something, say something kind of thing, Nikki?
And also just get out of there. Like, you just have to go. Well, yes, you can't say it that way with this article, but you know what I mean?
Nikki means leave.
Yes,
she doesn't
leave.
mean go.
No, I just mean leave the splash park and then tell somebody.
Tell somebody. See something, say something. Okay.
Because then they could have fixed it earlier.
They could have, couldn't they? So here's what I want to know, seriously. Like, was there a hose that got hooked up to the wrong thing?
How long was that going on?
What's that? How does that work? Because I like to think, I always tell Nikki, I'm like, Nikki, it's okay. You can drink from the water fountain even when you hear somebody flushing.
I ask him because the water level goes down low.
The pipes aren't connected. So how come these pipes are connected?
So, all right, someone's lying to me. Is that you?
What?
Are you lying to me?
At the very least, someone's misinformed, okay?
Because I hate it because someone flushes and then there goes the water.
The water pressure goes down for the water fountain, okay?
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
You're always going to remember this grill touched a naked man.